My wife claimed the photo of her cheating was AI. That was the first sentence out of her mouth when I confronted her, holding my phone with the damning picture open. I remember just standing there, in our kitchen, staring at her as if she had grown a second head. Her hands were on her hips, her expression defiant, almost smug. "Mark," she said slowly, as if talking to a child. "Do you really think I would be that stupid? It's AI. People make fake pictures like this all the time now." I wanted to believe her. God knows I wanted to. Emma and I had been married for 5 years. We met in college. She was the confident, witty girl who lit up every room, and I was the quiet guy in the corner with a camera around his neck. She said she loved how I noticed things others missed. That's what drew her to me. Our life together had been good, until recently. The last 6 months felt different. She was distant, always working late, spending hours on her phone with the screen tilted away from me. I tried to brush it off, tried to believe she was just busy. But when my buddy sent me a photo he'd snapped at a bar, Emma laughing, her arms around a man I didn't know, lips inches apart, something inside me froze. When I showed her the picture, I expected tears, apologies, maybe excuses. What I got was a smirk and a lecture about deepfakes. "Emma," I said, my voice tight, "this is a real picture. I know that bar. I know that dress. You wore it 2 weeks ago." She rolled her eyes. "Coincidence. Someone is trying to mess with you. Honestly, Mark, you spend too much time on conspiracy theories." The gaslighting hit me harder than the picture itself. She wasn't even trying to deny the moment. She was trying to rewrite reality. And that's when something in me shifted. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to shout. I was going to do what I do best. Find the truth, and make sure everyone saw it. That night, I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that photo. Emma's hand on that man's cheek. Her smile soft in a way I hadn't seen in months. My stomach churned, but my mind was crystal clear. If she wanted to claim AI made it, I'd show her, and everyone else, the truth. The next morning, I started with the bar itself. I drove there, parked outside, and waited until it opened. The bartender, an older guy with sharp eyes, remembered her right away. "Yeah, she was here last Friday. Blonde hair, green dress. She and that guy were pretty cozy," he said with a shrug. "They didn't exactly hide it." He even let me scroll through the bar's security camera footage from that night. My hands shook as I filmed the clips on my phone. There she was, Emma, sitting across from the man, their hands intertwined on the table. Later, she slid next to him in the booth, her head on his shoulder. And finally, the kiss. I drove home in silence. When I got back, Emma was in the kitchen again, casually sipping coffee, scrolling through her phone like nothing had happened. "Hey," she said with fake brightness. "Are we done with this whole fake photo drama?" I set my phone on the counter and hit play. Her smile froze. "Where did you get that?" she asked, her voice suddenly sharp. "From the bar where you spent Friday night," I said quietly. "The bar whose staff confirmed everything. You can stop pretending now." For a long moment, she just stared at the screen, then at me. And then, unbelievably, she laughed. "So what?" she said, tossing her hair back. "You want a medal for playing detective? People kiss." It didn't mean anything. I felt something hot and ugly rise in my chest. It meant enough for you to lie about it. To call me paranoid. To make me feel crazy in my own home. She shrugged unfazed. "Maybe if you weren't so boring, I wouldn't have needed a little excitement." Her words hit harder than any punch. And in that moment, my hurt turned into something sharper, colder. If she wanted to humiliate me, I would return the favor, but with facts, not games. I sent the footage to her parents, her friends, even her boss. By evening, everyone knew exactly what Emma had been doing. The messages started pouring in within an hour. Her mother called first, her voice tight with anger, demanding to know what Emma had done. Her best friend texted me, saying she had always suspected something was going on but didn't want to get involved. Even her boss replied with a curt, "We'll handle this internally." Emma stormed into the living room, her face flushed with rage. "You had no right," she shouted, slamming her phone on the coffee table. "You ruined my reputation." I stood up, calm in a way I hadn't felt in months. "No, Emma. You ruined your own reputation. I just made sure everyone saw who you really are." She looked at me like I had betrayed her. "Do you have any idea how embarrassing this is?" I almost laughed. "Do you have any idea how humiliating it was for me to sleep next to you every night, thinking I was crazy for suspecting the truth? Do you know what it feels like to be gaslit in your own marriage?" For the first time, her bravado faltered. She sat down, burying her face in her hands. "I didn't think it would get this far," she whispered. "It was just supposed to be a little fun." "Fun?" I asked, my voice low. Cheating on me was fun? Making me doubt my own sanity was fun. There was nothing left to say after that. I packed a bag that night. As I zipped it shut, Emma looked up at me with wet eyes. "You're really leaving?" "I'm done begging for honesty," I said simply. "I deserve someone who doesn't treat me like a fool." I walked out without looking back. In the weeks that followed, I felt lighter than I had in years. The footage had gone around enough that no one questioned my side of the story. Friends who had doubted me reached out to apologize. And as for Emma, word was she had moved in with the man from the bar. Though not many of her friends stuck around to support her. I didn't care. For the first time in a long time, I could breathe. And as I stood in my new apartment one quiet evening, I realized something. Sometimes the truth doesn't just set you free. Sometimes it saves you.